What's going on, folks? Episode 8 of the CGMB show. To say the least, it's been a couple interesting days. This past Saturday, I got my wisdom teeth pulled out. I got 4 teeth pulled out, right? And apparently, the top ones are okay. They're easy to pull, but the bottom ones, I had to drill like a hole into my teeth, pull out the wisdom teeth, and then put in like a type of plastic thing in order to fill in the hole. And then they had to stitch up the skin. So right now I'm still recovering, but I feel better than I did on Saturday. If you had to get your wisdom teeth removed, get it removed ASAP, because just get over the pain. Because right now I'm struggling, but we still out here. But how are we doing, folks? Today is Tuesday, August 18th. I hope everybody's doing well and safe. It's been very hot as of late, so I hope you're staying hydrated. And I'm excited for today's guest. Today's guest is Seanisdead. Let's introduce him. Seanisdead is a guerrilla portrait photographer and experimental filmmaker. Originally from LA, he moved to Monterey Bay to study cinematic arts at California State University, where he developed his signature style. His color creations have been generating a buzz through indie magazines, garage band circuits, and local Bay Area scenes. I'm excited to talk to Sean. I haven't talked to him in a while. I first met him at Monterey Bay at CGMB, where he's studying. We did an interesting photo shoot that was pretty wild, and I had a fun time shooting with him. And let's talk to Sean. Let's bring him on in. Yes, sir. Sean, what's going on, brother?
What's up?
How you doing, man? How's quarantine treating you?
Quarantine's been cool. You know, it's very different.
Yeah.
At first, I was getting bored easy, but now it's like a challenge
Right.
to do.
Did you expect things to turn out this way this year for you, personally and professionally?
No, this whole year is like huge surprise.
Yeah, yeah.
I didn't think even the end of last year, I didn't think he was gonna have his president. I don't think we'd be like where we're at now.
Mm-hmm. What were you doing
But
around March, the first week of March? Once they said coronavirus, and then started getting
oh, I
worse, and
was
they closed on
upset.
everything. What were you doing?
So there was gonna be it was like some type of music festival,
Okay.
and then my homegirl, she's a rapper. She was trying to put me onto it.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought I was going to win because they were picking a photographer to go to the thing.
Okay.
But, everything got canceled. I was like,
Mm-hmm.
fuck. But, yeah, I was fresh out of school. And um, I was kind of just looking for what's the next thing to do,
Yeah, yeah.
you know.
Yeah, and
So this
unfortunately,
kind of threw some things off.
yeah, this whole virus threw everything away, man. I had so many plans for this year, dude. I had work ready to show. I had
Mm-hmm.
things to submit online. I was supposed to spend my 22nd birthday out in Long Beach, but thankfully
Hey,
plans got canceled. But it's all good, man. But you're currently in
well,
Palmdale, man. How's the weather out there? I heard it's been really hot out there, man.
yeah, it's like 100 degrees.
That's crazy.
And there's fires, so there's ash on like all the cars and real smoky.
Yeah, yeah.
I've been spending like every weekend in LA though.
Okay.
I haven't been stuck here too much, but
Mm-hmm.
not much going on. It's just real hot.
Right. How your
I've
friends
been
doing
getting to
up?
know like more of the local people,
Okay.
so that's been cool.
How your friends doing out in at CGMB? There's a lot of fires in Salinas too.
I didn't know about that.
Yeah.
So my friend SUMB,
Mm-hmm.
um, I have a couple left, but most of everybody graduated because everybody I knew was older.
Mm-hmm.
But like my homie Mike and like a couple others, they've kind of just been working and staying at home.
Okay.
So everybody's kind of been like in a little bubble.
Okay.
They've been telling me that school is trash though, because they got to do online stuff. Luckily, last semester was my last,
You
so I made
you
it
got
out
you
like
got
just in
saved,
time.
man.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny because I know a lot of people that are going to art school right now and they're studying photography in the arts, and they have to pay
Hmm.
50,000 for that semester to be taught through a computer screen, which people are super upset
Yeah, that's a
about.
hustle.
That's
That's a
tough.
hustle because CSUB is still charging people like they're on campus, and they
Yeah,
send everybody home. You know, so they charging them like they living on campus, like they're eating
right.
at the dining commons and stuff like that. Because even if you're a freshman and you paid for like they have mandatory meal plans and stuff like that, you pay for that stuff. They're not trying to give anybody their money back. They actually charged me a random fee and tried to send it to collections, but uh, ended up paying that off. But yeah, that was these places are being real scammy right now.
They're being real
And I
scammy.
understand they want their money to keep stuff running,
Right.
but you know, you can't just take it from people, expect them to
Right.
stay and be cool with it. But I think
Right.
like colleges are I don't think they're the future anyway. I feel like they're starting to I don't know. School isn't given as much like YouTube and working with people and really going and get experience
Mm-hmm.
and one-on-one time with
Mm-hmm.
like even equipment has way more to offer
Mm-hmm.
academically than school. School is more so like it's like teaching you how to be like social and you know stuff like that, but it's not really. I feel like it didn't really teach me like art skills and stuff specifically. It's more so kind of like a school for life a little bit, you
Okay.
know, because you're living on your own for most people. It's like the first time really living on their own, stuff like that.
Right.
But I don't think school's gonna be the future. This shit getting too expensive.
Yeah, no, for sure. And
Yeah.
I feel like this has exposed what the future of schooling could be like. Like, do we really need to
Yeah.
be in a classroom, for
Yeah.
3 days a week with a professor there, looking over us? Do we really need that? Or obviously now with YouTube and the power of
Mhm.
like I said, YouTube and using all these skills and man, what's school gonna look like? But tell us about your experience at CGMB. Obviously you mentioned that you're a recent graduate. How was your experience there as an undergraduate student?
Um, it was nice. I spent I spent a lot of time like doing stuff on my own.
Mm-hmm.
I was really ducked off most of the time I was there. Like I wasn't trying to go to all the events and
Mm-hmm.
everything.
Mm-hmm.
Which in hindsight, like I could have used more of their services. Like they have free therapy and stuff like that. It's well not free, you're technically paying for it. But there's certain things I didn't use.
Nothing's free, huh, in college?
Yeah, nothing's really free. But it was nice, it was just very stressful. Because even though it keeps you busy and you're doing work,
Mm-hmm.
it's a lot of busy work. So you know, your goal might be kind of like, for example, like I started out as a business major,
Okay.
but your goal might be to start a business. Um, but you know that they're not going to touch on that the whole time, you know. Or like when you're doing film, your goal might be to make a film, but they're not touching on that. They're touching on like they're teaching you how to work in that field, but they're not going to teach you like about that field. I don't know if that makes sense, but yeah.
Okay.
My time there was cool though. Like the people I met was nice. Networking was cool.
Mm-hmm.
Getting to know the local people. Shout out to everybody in 831.
Hey,
Fuck with everybody
831,
out
baby, let's get it.
there. But yeah, the overall experience, it was like personal growth more so than anything.
Mm-hmm.
And the people really made the experience, not so much the school or the teachers or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
Like I feel like I could have grown the same way around like positive people, you
Mm-hmm.
know. But and when you get out, you literally just have like your degree, you know, because the stuff they look at is all the stuff you did when you weren't in school. They're not really paying attention to the degree. The degree is like a formality, you know. It's more like a paywall um, that they put up, but it's really just about you like knowing knowing the information and
Mm-hmm.
the techniques and stuff, you know.
Right. So you mentioned having that piece of paper, but also, like you said, and when I agree with you, is having what kind of work did you like you said, like it doesn't matter about the paper, it matters about the work that you created while being in school and learning all those techniques and all that stuff. When you're in art school, when you're at CGMB studying arts, did you have any type of work in mind, or was it just whatever you felt at the time that needed to be created in order to have your portfolio be shown?
Yeah, the art has been like it's always been like therapeutic for me. It's been like a coping mechanism for different like parts of my life. So ever since I was little, different things I would deal with in my living situation, I would find a way to express it through my art, because you can't really vocalize things in a traditional way. There's a lot of trauma and stuff involved with family units and stuff. I didn't come from like a rich family or nothing, so there's a lot going on with that. But while I was at school, a lot of the, because doing the work and everything, it gets monotonous, and you could get in a state of mind where you're depressed or you're unsure, confused about like what your direction in life is, because you're like in your 20s, you know, fresh. I'm still in my 20s fresh. But when you're fresh, it's like you're trying to figure out the meaning of life and all that. So a lot of the times I would use art to express something I was going through. So I ended up taking a lot of photos. Like initially I said I was a business major, I ended up switching to film. And just because initially I wanted to go for traditional art, like visual art, but I didn't have any support, you know. But I was just over it, and I was like, fuck it, let's do film. So I got a camera, and that was fun. But a lot of the photos I took were personal, so it might be like after a relationship ended, I go and take photos. After somebody dies, I go take photos. After I have like a crazy fun experience, they're not all like tragedies, but a crazy fun experience, I go take photos. It was like almost like having a therapist, but instead of talking to somebody, you know, you're talking with your camera. You're talking whatever medium you're working with, you know. So I spent a lot of time. Yeah, I
Facts,
spent a
bro. That
lot
was
of time
beautiful
doing
said,
that.
man. Oof. I
You
love
feel
that.
that?
Yeah.
I I would spend a lot of time,
That's
and it
beautiful.
became like a necessity. It was what was getting me through school, you know. But like once a week, I would schedule photo shoots with people, and it'd be in between school stuff, because what they have you doing, you don't feel attached to the work, you know, or at least I didn't, because the shit would be like commercial or something that doesn't have anything like emotional connected to it. Also, being in a white space, a lot of like what you have to offer isn't appreciated, like your viewpoint and your perspective and stuff like that. So you really can't put that into school assignments, because they're not looking for that. They're looking for like um, real surface, superficial stuff. But sometimes you have like real things you want to show, and or deeper things you want to talk about, be it like your life experience or racism or you know. And that's not the only things, but any like hardship or any different mindset, it kind of gets like pushed to the side, you know. So I had to take time for me to do my own photos. And it's weird being like an artist of color too. When you do art, it's like people expect you to do one thing. So they expect like my photos to center around like strictly the Black experience of poverty or something historical. Like all that shit gets championed, and they're like, oh, I love this. You know, it's kind of like when they drop like slave movies every year and they win like all the awards, you know, but like a Black movie about a regular family ain't gonna win nothing, you know. They want to see you like break down. They want to see you sweating. Even when I was writing in for scholarships and shit, you got to put in stuff like it's a tragedy contest. You know, you got to talk about how sad, how terrible your life was, just so you can get like $500 to go towards your school shit. So I don't know. I took like a different approach for the art stuff, and a lot of the teachers and people didn't understand it until like towards graduation. They thought it was like all hype because a lot of the pictures I did, they had like nudity
Mm-hmm.
and color, and it'd be like um, drug references and stuff like that. But a lot of that stuff too, I got a lot of inspiration from the Above the Influence commercials.
Mm-hmm.
And like, you know, now drugs are popular. You got a lot of rappers and stuff glorifying drugs. It's like popular at a whole nother level. You got people drinking lean, you got white kids drinking lean, shit like that. But I feel like nobody was focusing on like the gray area, you know, with that, or the reality of taking drugs and stuff like that. So a lot of my stuff was dealing with like anxiety, because a lot of it is a coping mechanism, you know. And yeah, and it was really close to me because when I left for school, I had my best friend from high school. I actually saw him like a couple months ago, but he got addicted to drugs. He took a lot of acid tabs, and now his brain is like super fried. But I had like two other friends that got lost in drugs in the same way. But you know, I feel like that's something that really stuck with me, and I was working through that while navigating this new space because they were supposed to be in that space with me. You know, this is stuff we plotted on. But yeah, and I feel like that whole experience did more for my growth than the fucking teachers' goofy assignments, you know. And a lot of the teachers, they're people too. So they have these egos and shit you got to deal with.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, school was a lot of semantics and technical shit, but I was always really interested in just growing, you know. And there were some good teachers I fuck with.
Right.
Like two solid ass teachers. Everybody else though, I was kind of sad at all the time I was in there.
Right. Now, I mean, you touch on a lot of strong points, man, and I appreciate you for opening up, you know, with your whole experience about, you know, using photographs as a diary, as a, you know, visual diary to put your feelings out there, because that's a whole point what makes a photograph much more meaningful, man. The meaning behind the photograph, the story behind the photograph. Okay, I have a photograph, but why did I make it? Why did I choose to have that certain type of mood and feeling? So I appreciate you opening about that. And then I'm sorry to hear about, you know, your friends passing away. And sure, it must be tough, but it sounds like for you that most of your art growth wasn't really in the classroom. It really was through personal experiences and, you know, creating the work, doing the work. Because
like the more
go ahead. No, go ahead, man.
The more I got to know myself,
right,
it was like the better I was able to express what I was feeling. You know?
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like that went a long way to help with the art, versus focusing on outside stuff. Because sometimes, because when you're coming from a place like that, you're not in competition with anybody. You're really just trying to understand something about yourself, you know. And once you can see it visually, then you could pick it apart. It's like in the physical world, so it's not just floating in your head all day, you know. But yeah, the deeper I got into knowing who I was through like all the various like experiences and stuff, the easier it was. Yeah, and I was in my own little creative bubble that whole time. And initially, I wanted to write a book. I tried writing a book about school. I tried writing like a poetry book about school, but the book ended up turning into this like long work of photos. And I really put like a cap on that like style now. I'm like, that's kind of contained in those 4 years of like coming into my perspective, you know. But yeah, it's like a controlled chaos type of environment, you know.
Was there something you rather? I mean, obviously you like you mentioned, it pretty much takes us back what we were talking about. Is school really necessary? Do we really have to be in a classroom in order to learn about ourselves and our work? Because I feel like what school does is just It gives us the tools and it gives us the critique. But when you were in art school, I mean, when you were in school, did you want to do something besides what you were doing? Is there any type of work that you obviously created the work that you did, but is something different that you wanted to do or pursue?
Um, like a different field or like a different project?
Different feel. For me, like for example, I do black and white photography, but I always wanted to do, cinematography and I always wanted to pursue that. For
Mm-hmm.
you personally, you have your own style, you have your own work. Is there something else beyond that you wanted to do or try to experiment?
Yeah, so like before all this, I used to draw like all day.
Mm-hmm.
So I have like sketchbooks and sketchbooks just full. And initially I wanted to be a tattoo artist.
Mm.
Um, but I'm still gonna get like apprenticeship and everything, probably like in my late 20s, once I get back from service. But yeah, I've had other stuff I wanted to do. Photography was kind of random because I wasn't planning on going into film. I have like scripts that I've written um, that I'm sitting on until like I get the means to do it, like the way I see it, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, school takes up a lot of your time though, doing all that as assignments, and you're kind of paying to do work. I think
Right.
the best thing though um, from school isn't the teaching, it's having access to stuff like computers,
Mm-hmm.
cameras, and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
So like without being able to go to school, I don't see the, I don't see the reason for the cost, you know. But I'm like, if you're going to school, the best thing is to just utilize all the equipment that's there to do
Right.
your own thing, you know. Because the assignments are like, they give them every year. You really can't put too much of yourself in them or it's going to break the rubric, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But I was interested in a couple different things. Like I had a bunch of jobs too. I worked at a yogurt shop. I worked at a cheese and wine shop. I worked at a movie theater. I did stocking in the morning. I worked at like an H&M,
Mm-hmm.
whole bunch of jobs. Also, it was to pay for school and stuff like that.
Right.
But also let me know I didn't like I wasn't getting anything out of the 9 to 5 small jobs. You can go do shit, but I don't think it's anything somebody should be doing forever. You
Mm-hmm.
know,
Of course not.
yeah. Like 9 to 5s are fine. I'm talking about like frozen yogurt. You shouldn't be selling frozen yogurt forever. That shit will drive you crazy.
Oh, I
But
bet. Yeah, no, I currently work at a grocery store, dude. Oh,
oh yeah, I used to work
man.
at Whole Foods.
Oh, that's right. Is that where you met Julie?
Yeah, that's where I met
Or
Julie.
in Obscure Minds?
Hmm. Uh, I met Obscure Minds on campus somewhere.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Yeah, I forgot how we met. It wasn't at Whole Foods though, but I met Julie at Whole Foods.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, no, I remember with that photo shoot that we did, man. That was an experience in itself.
yeah, that was
Let,
lit.
let's talk about that. When you do photo shoots, do you want the viewer obviously has his point of view, but when you're photographing your subjects, do
Hmm.
you want to create an environment and experience for that photo shoot? Or is this just, I'm taking pictures and that's
Um,
it?
so I usually go in with like my idea of like controlled chaos.
Mm-hmm.
I usually give like a set of props, and I guide off of emotion more so than like look this way, tilt your head.
Mm-hmm.
It's more so like give me a character or something or tap into something. But I feel like when you're taking pictures, sometimes um, if you're doing like a controlled shoot like that, you can be focusing too much on controlling whoever you're taking photos of. But I kind of like to give them room to experiment and give a more natural, because a lot of people have like natural movements and poses they do on their own. So I like to give them room to just experiment, and that kind of puts their head into it too. So I'm just not trying to guide the whole ship. It's kind of like everybody's a part of the creative process.
Right.
I go in there with a theme usually, or certain things I want to set up. I might have like a specific shot in mind, but I'm not interested in like controlling it down to the, you know, the super fine details. It's kind of like painting with like a broad brush, you know. But yeah, I try to just make a cool, controlled environment, make sure everybody's chilling and comfortable.
Yeah.
Everybody gets to know each other, and then I'm open to ideas the whole time. Because I have been like a model for people before, and it's just not fun when you're being told to like tilt your head and only do very like restrictive, because it's unnatural moves, you know.
Right.
It's like the person ends up looking uncomfortable.
Right.
I don't like that. I like it more for it to just be like you tap into that emotion for me and I get to capture it, you know, because it's more so like it's like the model isn't posing for my shot specifically. It's like I'm getting the shot, you know, or like it's my job to catch it, you know. It's not their job to have the pose for me, you know.
You're there to up, you know, like it's like you're a composer. It's like orchestra. You have your people, and you gotta compose in and let them know. But it has to be natural.
It's like taking pictures of like animals. Like a dog isn't gonna pose for you. You gotta capture the dog when it's like eating the frisbee. You know, you gotta capture the moment. You can't be, you know, you can't have like a super creative control over all that stuff, you know.
Right. A dog has to be a dog, and a person will be a person. You gotta let them do their own thing and make sure to capture.
I'm also not into like too fashiony looking stuff or too professional. I do like a candid feel, but they are still staged, you know.
I definitely did feel that when we did a photo shoot with Julie. And what was Julia? Was it Julia? Who was your other friend that joined us too? It was Cassandra. And
it was she has red hair.
Yeah, it was Julia, I believe. No.
You know what? Yeah, I think it might be Julia.
Julia and Julie. No, when we did that photo shoot, man, it was definitely an experience with itself, man. Like I felt comfortable. It was fun. It was definitely it was just like a creative space in order just to feel yourself, you know, do your own movements, and that was super fun, man. I still think about that experience.
Yeah, you like jumped through the window.
Yeah. I remember that. And I had a mask on.
Yeah.
And I was jumping on the bed, and oh my God.
And I would always get like I would gather, and it's nice having your own space because you know, allows you to do stuff like that. But I would just constantly like collect props and stuff from people and look for like weird stuff in Santa Cruz or different shops and stuff. And it was all just like super therapeutic to go through all that, you know. Shouts Never Bored magazine. They published shots and stuff.
Yeah.
They're mad dope.
Let's talk about that. Let's talk about your work on published. Do you like having your work out there, or do you like to keep it more personal? Because obviously, in Never Shot magazine, you have that work shown on paper. But where do you see your work? Mostly now during quarantine, you can't really show work in person. How do you go about showing work through the web?
So I love when like people hit me up to publish stuff. You know, that's always good. And usually when they do that, I shoot for the publishing thing. So it's not really part of like the regular photos I take, you know? But yeah, during quarantine, I've kind of just been, I don't really show my work too much. My website is closed right now. And I'm kind of waiting to release a book. So I plan on putting a book out with the set of photos that I took during college. It's going to be called Fogtown because that's like the nickname for the marina of that area.
Right.
So yeah, that's going to come out hopefully like next year sometime. But I have all the digital stuff on InDesign and everything mapped out. So it's really about just like finding a place to print it see if I want to like self-publish it or print it through somebody, and then start getting those out there. But yeah, a big theme this year for me has been taking my time with stuff. So I haven't been too pressured to share too much, or like I'm always creating, but you know, sometimes with like, especially with social media and stuff like that, you can get in the habit of just like constantly making stuff. And for me, because some people can move at that pace like super fast. For me, my pace is kind of slower. And if I'm putting stuff out that fast, it's going to have a lot of mistakes, or I'm going to feel anxious about it because I don't feel like it's completely done. And, you know, I'm kind of trying to be like real, not protective, but kind of really take my time with all these images and stuff and see what I want to do. I want to do like shows and stuff, but that's all going to come, you know.
Come in due time.
Yeah.
You mentioning about joining the service.
Yeah, I'm about to be in the Navy.
Navy, man. You'll be a Navy man. How do you feel about that? Excited, nervous?
I really don't feel nervous or excited. I'm more so looking forward to getting out the house. Been in quarantine this whole time. And then like my dad went, and a lot of the males in my family went. So I'm used to seeing them in uniform and talking about the Navy. And I visited the Naval Academy when I was younger and all that type of stuff. So, you know, I'm looking forward to stacking.
Hey.
Coming back.
Just gotta do what you gotta do and come back, huh?
Travel would be nice. I was looking at, in the jobs I was looking at, they have, you can do photography and stuff for the Navy. So I was really interested in that because, you know, it'd be a new subject, new stuff to deal with. And it's something I've already been doing. So I'm leaning towards going with that, but I might go into IT stuff because I am pretty good on the computer. So I'll see whichever. But it's really something to do while stuck in this weird position, because initially my idea was to go try to get in the Otis and finesse that some type of way. But yeah, this stuff has been real surprising, you know.
Oh man, tell me about it.
But yeah, I'm looking forward to service. It's I'm looking forward to traveling, working out. Getting yelled at and everything doesn't seem too crazy to me.
Yeah. Do you plan to change yourself as a whole, as a human being when you come out of the service? Because I wanted to join the service too, man. I wanted to be in the Navy. I wanted just to go in there as a boy and come out as a man, man. Just come out just with a strong mentality, be more so disciplined, just be more responsible for yourself. What's your outcome? What are you looking forward to out of this?
I'm looking forward to the stability, being able to travel, but the biggest thing is being able to invest. When I say invest, not invest in real estate and stuff like that. I mean like invest time into like visiting friends, invest time into myself, into getting, you know, I want to get my teeth whitened. They fix your eyes for free. I wear glasses. But therapy, different things to help you grow on a personal level. Because even with something like the Navy, I feel like similar to college, the growth is going to come from what you do outside of your commands, you know? So, and then I have friends real close to me. They all have dreams. They all have aspirations and goals. I'll be able to help invest in that and contribute to, you know, my day ones real solid, you know? So it's more so to invest in, you know, everyone around me, including myself. Because I have this goal. The goal isn't to like get rich. The goal isn't to get famous. I just want to be able to make art in peace. And that's it. Like I used to say, I want to make enough money to get left alone all the time. I don't want no bill collectors. I don't want no bullshit coming my way. And I don't want none of the people around me to have to deal with any of that bullshit either. So the whole plan is to like stack, take whatever growth I've gotten from that experience, and then develop this, peaceful environment. Because a lot of folks I've been around, and when I was younger, a lot of that was in a peaceful environment. This kind of took a while to define what that would mean for you. Everybody's idea is different. But yeah, I'm not trying to get like balling or nothing like that. That sounds stressful.
Sounds like you have it set in stone, man. So I'm looking forward to your progress. I think we met about what? 3? No, was it 3? No, 2 years ago? 3 years ago?
2 years. You know what? It might have been more than 3.
More than 3, right? Look at us now, man. We're in quarantine. Yeah. We're stuck in this weird situation. But before we end, what do you see yourself in the next 3 to 5 years? Obviously, kind of hinted about that, but where do you see yourself? Like, do you see yourself, established, having a home? Do you see yourself, as an artist? Like, what do you see yourself in 3 to 4 years?
Well, I'm gonna make art till I die. That's just a part of my life, But I see myself be out of the Navy into whatever new living situation. Just peace. I always see peace for my future. For me, it's more so about like, I don't know, like my spiritual, like deeper experience, just being alive and being a part of all this versus like material gain and stuff like that. But that's just like my own personal goal. So hopefully I'm closer to enlightenment, closer to peace, and I have the means to keep making art.
Love it. Yeah. Love it, man. Thank you so much for coming down to the show. I got a couple quick questions for you. Quick fire questions. So whatever comes to mind, just throw it out there, man. Favorite color?
Black.
All right. Favorite food?
Sushi.
Favorite city to travel to?
Portland.
Okay. Favorite dessert?
Dang, I hate sweets. Like Payday candy bars.
Okay.
I fuck with those.
All right. And 3 words that would describe you the best.
Chilling, loving, sleeping.
Hey. All right, Sean. Seanisdead, thank you so much, man, for coming to the podcast. A good time of your day to talk to us. Where can people find your work, bro?
Oh, you can find me on Instagram at sean.is.dead. My website should be up soon. It'll be seanisdead.net. Probably by January. A bunch of my shit's gonna be up. So January 2021.
There we go, man. We're looking forward to that. 2021 is gonna be your year, baby.
Hey.
Awesome, man. Thank you so much for coming on. Like we mentioned, we're gonna have the description. We'll have the link to your stuff in the description box, so people can hit you up. And yeah, cool, bro. Stay in touch, and hope you stay safe, man. I'm looking forward to your progress.
All right, you too.
Thank you, man. Take care.